I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. It's that time. It's time to review the iFlight Bumblebee. It's here finally in my studio. We're going to take it out and fly. We're going to look at the specs. It's analog and DJI digital available. I got the analog version, and I'm going to fly it with 4S 1300 and 1550 batteries today. It has a wheelbase of 142 millimeter, which is actually one of the smaller and lighter ones out there. There's a pretty big war going on with these little whoops right now. 3-inch whoop is popular. Foam bumpers is the new thing. 3K carbon frame on here as well, top and bottom plate. And I'm not sure if these are PLA or they're nylon ducts, but they do look like PLA to me. TPU GoPro mount in the front, and it has a very minimal amount of tilt, which I really like. You've got a TPU mount in the very back for DJI digital or the analog antenna. Antenna posts as well come in the kit. And you have a receiver tray on here, which is kind of nice. I was able to get right in there, bind this quad up, and set it up in Betaflight and go fly. We have the CADDX Ratel on board as well, one of my favorite FPV cameras. Plenty of protection front, back, and sides. And those foam bumpers also protecting it in the front. Zing motors, which are super powerful. 1507 3300 kV motors. They're ripping on 4S, and a full-size prop nut, which I like. Not saving a whole lot of weight there, but 3 duct posts on each duct, which is a nice little reinforcement. And those are 2mm bottom plate and top plate, by the way. And we have the Sussex F4. This is a Sussex E and 40 amp ESCs, able to support up to 4S. 500 milliwatt VTX with smart audio. That's kind of standard. And we have another detail in here. It's cool. Purple motor wires all the way around. Just one little kind of cool detail. And one last thing we have here is the capacitor in the back. You'll also get a lot of extras in the box, which is nice. You get some 3-inch bullnose props, iFlight stickers, which is nice. You get the right turn, 90-degree angle USB port, extra hardware for your GoPro TPU mount. You get your CADDX OSD menu control board. For you TBS guys, you get that mount, and you get some top plate rubber and some extra hardware, copper shielding stickers, and you get a strap for a 4S battery and 2 shorter posts. These were just a little bit too short for me, so I ended up raising mine up just to get a little more distance out of my XM Plus receiver. And on the scale, we're getting 283 grams by itself. I'm gonna put my favorite battery on there, which is the 4S 1550, 460 grams, with the GoPro bringing it up to a total of 571. Now let's check out the 4S 850. What does that weigh? That's going to get us up to 387 grams with the GoPro. That's the GoPro Hero 7, under 500 grams, which is not bad. Now with a standard 4S 1300 battery, it's going to get us up to 446 grams with the GoPro on board. Going to get us up to 556 grams. Not bad. Let's take this guy out and let's do some flying. Here we go for the FPV flight test. Let's get this guy up in the air. I've been waiting for this quad for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. They have teased us with this quad, and the time is finally here to fly the Bumblebee. This is the footage that I got off of my first battery, so I'm kind of sharing that with you, and I haven't touched the tune right now. This is straight out of the box so that you guys can see what it's gonna fly like. So we're gonna try a few things today. We're gonna try it, some sort of cinematic stuff. Let's just do a quick boost up. It's not a full throttle boost, but there you can see the full camera view there on the CADDX Ratel. Looks pretty good. We're also going to try to do some freestyle with it, and these quads honestly are not really built for freestyle, but I'd like to test that anyway in my reviews. I like to see if it'll do a power loop, and that's my big kind of a test for the flight controller and the prop guards and the ducts and all that. It's really hard for a flight controller with ducts to maintain itself when you're pushing some hard G's on it, so we'll see what happens. I skipped that first. Whoa, almost crashed through that one. I skipped the first one and tried to get the second one. Let's go back for that again and try it again. I have to remember, I keep in mind that this quad is quite a bit bigger than some of the other ones I've been flying lately for you guys, so I'm just going to try a little tree flip right here, back down. Kind of lost my orientation for the tree. It feels a little awkward to freestyle this quad, so it flies beautiful straight ahead though, and that's what most of you guys are looking for with this type of quad. You're not really going to be doing some crazy FPV like freestyle over top of motocross dudes with this one. This one's more of just kind of a chase type quad, and those slow, amazing super tiny little gaps that you can get away with bombing down mountains, maybe with your TBS Crossfire on board. So I'm coming back around here near this fence, and there is a gap in this fence, and with the CADDX Ratel I should be able to see it. I can see it perfectly with the DJI setup, but there it is, almost touching that fence post. Just made it through. But I'm feeling like it's a very smooth tune on here. I'm tempted to go through the barbed wire, but I'm not going to do it today with this quad. I'll get caught and have to walk a couple hundred yards out. Now I'm just going to turn across the field here, do some low flying over the field. So I'm pretty impressed with my first battery, but what I'm interested now to try for you guys is let's do some high throttle stuff, and let's try some power loops with this quad. That battery was just tanking on me. It's a little cold today, so another 4S. I have a 1300 on there this time. And we're just going to go down the sidewalk here, and we're going to turn around, and we're going to try to power loop those two big trees at the other end. I'm going to make a turn around here, get straightened back up, and let's see what this flight controller's got with this frame. Here we go. Up and over, and back around, and I completely lost it right there. I almost flew into the tree. It did almost a 180 twitch on me on that one. So I'm not even going to try that again. There's puddles all over the place today, and I honestly don't want to set the Bumblebee down in a puddle, and that would be the tune on there. So it's not really a freestyle rig. It's looking gorgeous up high. The GoPro looks amazing. The CADDX Ratel, again, one of my favorite FPV cameras. You can really see that the great thing about the CADDX Ratel in the winter too, that should be your go-to camera. Look how much better that looks than the GoPro. GoPro is having some light shift issues right there, coming back around, dark to the light, getting really dark looking at the ground, and then back up in the air when it sees the clouds, lightens up. But the CADDX Ratel stays nice and bright the whole time. So on those darker days in the winter, like today, I'm able to see what I'm doing, and there I'm getting that flight controller to tumble again. It's giving me some washout, some lumber, some freak out, and there it is again, and bumped off the ground. So kind of a disappointment as far as the freestyle aspect of the Bumblebee goes. You're not really going to freestyle this quad unless you find a proper tune to chill it out. But then again, that's not really what this quad's made for. So if I was to score this on a point system, I couldn't take too much off for, you know, something that it's not made for, honestly. It's made for this type of flying right here, and right now I'm in acro mode, and you can put it in stability mode. If you're a beginner, starting out with something like this would be pretty easy, just cruising. Really nice cruiser. And this is one of those quads that you can take to a special spot where there's a lot of trees and really have some fun with it. I actually wish there was a lot more trees out here today so that I could pull some gaps on. Now I'm getting back in stability mode here for you guys. And we're just going to cruise around, and we're going to try to go through some of these gaps again that I did earlier for you. Just going to slow way down right here. GoPro looks awesome today. Looks amazing. I'm going to take this one here. Hopefully I can make it through. This quad is quite a bit bigger than the I was flying the iFlight CINEWHOOP hybrid the other day, and that thing would just about go anywhere. As well as the GEP-RC CINEWHOOP, also another real good one. You should check that video out. But plenty of control with the Bumblebee, no problems for slowed down cinema stuff. I really got to buy that GoPro 8. I think the GoPro 8 will probably do better in the low light situations. They probably improved the sensor. Seems to be a lot of light shift and adjustment with the GoPro Hero 7. I love the hyper smooth, but I think it did pretty well. And this is the best results that I can get from this quad. And here I just switch back into acro, and sometimes you'll dip forward when you do that. And right here, right behind this antenna tower, is where it fail-safe. So we kind of have a little bit of a durability test here. I walked all the way out there, looked at, no problem. No problem. No, the foam bumpers are great. It just bounced on the rocks. And you know, I was over there by my van making some remarks about hitting the rocks over there, so not stoked about that. Whenever you crouch on rocks, it might as well be concrete. So now I'm going to try to go slow underneath these trees here, these cedar trees. Trying to get in there a little bit, see how low I can get without touching the grass. Nice. Plenty of control. So definitely 100 out of 100 for the cinematic side of this quad is looking really, really good. And the freestyle is going to need some work if you want to freestyle it, but it's not really a freestyle quad, guys. Can't call it that. So now we're going back through this gap. Looking pretty good. Really smooth flyer when it's flown the way it should be flown. I'm just going to play around and just going to disarm on top of my van, do a little perch up there, back out over the field. This is a lot of fun. So I'm going to bring it in, land it, and let's go back into the studio. Let's talk about some final thoughts and impressions about the iFlight Bumblebee. Pretty cool little quad. Here we go. So what do you guys think? I mean, the Bumblebee, it has a lot going for it. It has some new tech on here, which is the foam bumpers all the way around. That's kind of nice that it's going to give you that option. Some of the other ones that I've had, they broke on the first flight test. So this foam stuff is the go-to stuff right now. That should be on just every 3-inch CINEWHOOP out there. If you're flying anything like the Squirt, if you're flying the MEGABee, I hope that we can somehow upgrade for those foam ducts. It makes a huge difference. XT60 in the back is kind of a nice touch, and what was really nice, the receiver tray, that was pretty convenient from iFlight. I'm glad they sent that with the receiver all ready to go, just to bind up. But I also like the support structure under here. It's only 2mm, but that's lightening up the entire frame a lot. You've got an extra hole back here for your DJI digital if you decide to upgrade it later. This same frame will accommodate that unit in the very back, so you've got some spots back there in the back to be able to install that. So there's a lot of versatility with these quads. If you never had one, having one of these with a GoPro in the front is just awesome. You can do a lot of really cool cinema stuff, and I like that there's not a lot of tilt on this particular GoPro mount. Sometimes they have it jacked to 30, and what I have to do is just put some foam under it and lessen the tilt, but this one seems to be ready to go with the exact same tilt on the GoPro as the CADDX Ratel camera, and that's nice. The bumpers up front protecting the camera really nice, and it came back in one piece. One of the first ones that I have not broken the PLA ducts, and those are definitely not TPU ducts. It would be nice if it was, but maybe TPU just bends a little bit too much. But I've seen Squirts with TPU, so I don't know why these other companies are not printing TPU ducts. They should be. But overall, definitely a nice CINEWHOOP. Durable, flies amazingly smooth for cinema, and that's what I'm going to recommend the Bumblebee for. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.